You know what David Zaslav calls me? One Bill Phil. That's because I am the one true, genuine article in a business full of counterfeit bucks.
Hi, spots and cheap pops, ladies and gentlemen. It is me, Silicon Steve Allen. I'm with Bloody Dottie, and we are off the heels of CM Punk coming back, and in what many people are saying, going scorched earth on the Elite, the Young Bucks in particular, as he returns to AEW on the debuting AEW Collision Saturday night. And Bloody Dottie, the world is abuzz of CM Punk going after the Elite, but there were a lot of crazy things about this promo. We're going to get right into it. Great reaction. And by the way, we want to thank all the new subscribers who joined us recently. Thank you so much. Bloody Dottie, how are you doing? And CM Punk, your hero, and maybe mine now too. CM Punk is back, and a lot of things going on in this promo, and some that I think really got lost in the shuffle with all the Elite stuff. Some really cool things might be happening storyline-wise with CM Punk. Bloody Dottie, how are you, and what'd you think?
I'm doing great, and it's good to be here on this impromptu little podcast we're doing because of it being such a big deal with CM Punk returning, and most importantly, what he said. We're going to take this to probably a little bit of different depths for you, but right off the bat, the first thing CM Punk did was he removed this AEW, the basically emblem on the microphone. So he removed it as if he was not speaking on behalf of AEW, speaking on behalf of himself. And from there, he built into the energy of the Chicago crowd. Had some very cool moments in here, dropped some very good one-liners, also name dropped a major corporate president in terms of Warner Brothers. So you could say that this comeback promo pretty much had it all. And it was highly entertaining. It was good to see him again. And it's very intriguing to see where this might go and what the reaction to him may be, especially in different places away from Chicago.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought it was interesting when he came out, looked pissed off. In fact, he was wearing his new shirt, which was an ode to Roddy Piper when Roddy Piper had the old Panther, but it's Larry.
Yeah, which I kind of like. Yeah, I like. That's cool.
With Chicago in the background. But the way he came out walking, it was similar to Roddy Piper when he used to walk to the ring, like almost stoic and just not giving a fuck and ready to go to war. That's what CM Punk looked like. He came out also with his boots on. I knew he wasn't retiring, so I didn't fall for that, because in the interview we had with ESPN and some of the clips we saw, he said he had a lot more to do. He wasn't going anywhere. I've never left. I just got injured. And so that was part of it. And you're right. He takes off the AEW logo. And the last time that I remember him doing that, he had just turned heel against The Rock and got Paul Heyman in his corner during his great run as WWE Champion back in 2011, 2012. I am of the opinion CM Punk, by and large, is going to be a heel throughout the country, with the exception of a couple of spots. But the cool thing about CM Punk, and we saw this in this promo, CM Punk can be the same guy, because at the end of the day, the one thing about CM Punk and his character, he's honest. Even if he's a bad guy and he's a dick, he's honest. And that's something that we had talked about previously, is that he's so honest, sometimes to a fault. And when you're honest in the manner in you're honest, in which he was at the media scrum, it's kind of fucked up and it caused a lot of damage, which we talked about. But the fact is, he's right. One of the things he said later in the promo, about halfway through, he said, "Why would I change? I have always been the guy that talks truth to power. I am the truth. The truth hurts. And that's why people don't like me."
Boo me, cheer me, love me, hate me. You all do it because you know I'm right.
And so that's the truth about CM Punk. That really is. That's the dichotomy about CM Punk. And he's often said, "I'd rather be hated for somebody I am than loved for somebody I'm not."
To quote him, he is the truth, and the truth is painful.
That's right. All right, so Vladi Dottie, here are the exact quotes from CM Punk, and we could check it out right here. Folks, this is what CM Punk said about the Young Bucks specifically, but the Elite in general.
Call me whatever you want. You know what David Zaslav calls me? One Bill Phil. That's because I am the one true, genuine article in a business full of counterfeit bucks. if you feel you're here today and I owe you an apology, here it is. I am sorry that the only people softer than you are the wrestlers you like.
Oh my God. I mean, and the thing is, he doesn't say anybody by name. I know he said counterfeit bucks, but that was a way to usurp that legal situation.
Yeah.
And then he says and then he tells the people that are the fans that are going to boo him, he's not going to try to kiss their ass. He's going right for him. He's saying the only people that are softer than you are the guys you like, the wrestlers you like. So he comes out and says that. And of course, everyone's freaking the hell out about it, especially people on the Elite. I just wish he wouldn't be a dick. Why is he going to do that? Why is he going to pick on him? Hold on a second. All right. CM Punk had every right to say whatever the fuck he wanted to say here, and pardon my language. These guys or people in their party have been running to the bullshit wrestling media who gets rich off of information that second-rate wrestlers are giving them. People like Brian Alvarez, Dave Meltzer, that whole crowd, Wade Keller. Those guys are leaking stories to them. Okay, can't prove it or you don't know it. Okay, I get that. These guys on their first Dynamite back did 2 spots in Chicago to rub it in CM Punk's face and rub it into the Chicago face. They blew a buckshot lariat intentionally, Matt Jackson did, to mock CM Punk's that he famously botched in his championship win over Hangman. And then Kenny Omega, I believe he bit Pat.
Yeah.
And Kenny Omega doesn't bite, and it was a normal match. There was no reason for it. It was clearly to make fun of the situation. And I said it at the time, this is better be a work if they're doing this. If not, then they're dickheads. Yeah. And they deserve anything that they get. If the legit situation is they don't want to talk to Punk and they don't want to do business, then Punk, after they acted like that on national television on their first time back, CM Punk had every right to say whatever the hell he wanted to say on his first time back, especially because he doesn't go to wrestling journalists and give his side of the story and cry and bitch and whine. What he does is, like a mature 15-year-old girl, goes on Instagram and bitches about it and then deletes it. So let's be very clear. I don't think CM Punk is a saint at all in this situation. He caused a lot more problems than he needed to. But last night, he gets a pass by me because the Elite fucked with him first. The Elite were immature, stupid, and selfish first on their first time back when they made fun of Punk. And you brought to that point when Kenny Omega in an interview is saying we all need to move on, and then he's biting somebody, and his best friend Matt Jackson is missing a punk shot lariat to mock CM Punk in Chicago. You can't have it both ways. And these people are defending the Elite and taking their side no matter what. Look, both sides are acting like assholes at some point. Both sides. Both sides are acting like children. And guess what? So is the Elite. The Elite are playing in the mud too. Nobody absolved of it. And I honestly became a mark of CM Punk last night because all the stuff that came out with the lawyer, for him to say those things and call them soft, saying basically, man up. Let's make some money together. This is the professional wrestling business. First thing he said when he came out. As long as I'm here, this is the professional wrestling business. It's not a popularity contest. And then we saw the name, David Zaslav. For those of you who don't know who David Zaslav is, he's a pretty important guy. He is CEO and president of Time Warner Discovery.
And he name dropped him in his return promo.
Meaning that the Elite, who didn't even garnish 700,000 people watching, and the main event of this past week's Dynamite, the Elite better watch their back. Maybe the Elite aren't the heart and soul of AEW anymore. The pressure is on them big time. Because CM Punk and what that show did yesterday, phenomenal 2 hours of professional wrestling, but CM Punk is a star. And he said that. Another thing he said off camera, into the camera, not on the microphone. He said, I didn't come here to be a star. I already am a star. And that was to somebody in the back who might have said some things about him trying to still be a star here. Other thing is, and this is something that I think, Vladi, that has been completely overlooked by everyone talking about it. He had a red bagging in tow with him as well.
Yes.
Which we have to believe is the AEW World Championship.
Right.
And he specifically brought up how there's another guy who calls himself the champion, who he had a little bit of a problem with about a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Who is now the AEW World Champion. That's Maxwell Jacob Friedman, who always brags about how he's been in the greatest dog collar match ever. CM Punk specifically brought that up. He said, I have this because I earned it. Not because I was in the best, and he did it with his voice. Not because I was in the best dog collar match ever, because I won the dog collar match.
Yeah.
So he comes back, pointing his guns, basically dismissing everything, said what he had to say about the Elite, and now he's focusing on making money moving forward with MJF. And you have to wonder now, Vladi, is MJF and CM Punk going to be main eventing Wembley Stadium? That is the question I think a lot of people need to be asking.
Man, that would be crazy. I mean, that would be springing right back into it for sure. Yeah, you know, it's interesting. They could go really quickly and try to go that route with it, unless they go and still have this unofficial brand split, and Punk is acting like the world champion there, while MJF is acting more like the champion on Dynamite. Maybe they sort of bleed this out a little bit.
They could, because you could always also maybe, and this is the other question that did cross my mind yesterday. Is this a work stuff? Can it possibly be a work? Will CM Punk keep on throwing little pot shots at him in his promos? Will the Elite do the same thing? I don't think so, because the Elite are knee deep in like 300 storylines on Dynamite right now.
Yeah.
You have everything going on with Don Callis, the Blackpool Combat Club. You got Willow Spray, and I think you're also going to have Ibushi coming in. So there's a lot of things going on with the Elite. They don't need to fuck with CM Punk and FTR right now.
Yeah.
But is it possible that this is a work? And they're setting it up for later on, because it seems like AEW has a lot more focus and more competence in terms of their booking lately, if that makes any sense. They're building some really cool things for the first time in a while. I think we were really hoping for a lot of things to come last year, and we never came. It seems like they're building a lot of stuff, and they certainly have all the pieces in place now. The healthiest their roster has been in a very long time. Thank you so much for watching High Spots and Cheap Pops. Hit that subscribe button. Let us know what you think. Is CM Punk a dick, or are the Elite a big bunch of pussies?